Sweet Bird of Youth by Tennessee Williams. Relentless caper for all those who step the legend of their youth into the noon. Hart Crane. To Cheryl Crawford. Forward. Written prior to the Broadway opening of Sweet Bird of Youth and published in the New York Times on Sunday, March 8, 1959. When I came to my writing desk on a recent morning, I found lying on my desk top an unmailed letter that I had written. I began reading it and found this sentence. We are all civilized people, which means that we are all savages at heart, but observing a few amenities of civilized behavior. Then I went on to say, I am afraid that I observe fewer of these amenities than you do. Reason? My back is to the wall and has been to the wall for so long that the pressure of my back on the wall has started to crumble the plaster that covers the bricks and mortar. Isn't it odd that I said the wall was giving way, not my back? I don't think so. Pursuing this course of free association, I suddenly remembered a dinner date I once had with a distinguished colleague. During the course of this dinner, rather close to the end of it, he broke a long, mournful silence by lifting to me his sympathetic gaze and saying to me sweetly, Tennessee, don't you feel that you are blocked as a writer? I didn't stop to think of an answer. It came immediately off my tongue without any pause for planning. I said, Oh, yes. I've always been blocked as a writer, but my desire to write has been so strong that it has always broken down the block and gone past it. Nothing untrue comes off the tongue that quickly. It is planned speeches that contain lies or dissimulations. Not what you blurt out so spontaneously in one instant. It was literally true. At the age of 14, I discovered writing as an escape from a world of reality in which I felt acutely uncomfortable. It immediately became my place of retreat, my cave, my refuge. From what? From being called a sissy by the neighborhood kids and Miss Nancy by my father. Because I would rather read books in my grandfather's large and classical library than play marbles and baseball and other normal kid games. A result of a severe childhood illness and of excessive attachment to the female members of my family who had coaxed me back into life. I think no more than a week after I started writing, I ran into the first block. It's hard to describe it in a way that will be understandable to anyone who is not a neurotic. I will try. All my life, I have been haunted by the obsession that to desire a thing or to love a thing intensely is to place yourself in a vulnerable position, to be a possible, if not a probable, loser of what you most want. Let's leave it like that. That block has always been there and always will be, and my chance of getting or achieving anything that I long for will always be gravely reduced by the interminable existence of that block. I described it once in a poem called The Marvelous Children. He, the demon, set up barricades of gold and purple tinfoil, labeled Fear and other august titles, which they, the children, would leap lightly over, always tossing backwards their wild laughter. But having always to contend with this adversary of fear, which was sometimes terror, gave me a certain tendency toward an atmosphere of hysteria and violence in my writing, an atmosphere that has existed in it since the beginning. In my first published work, for which I received the big sum of $35, a story published in the July or August issue of Weird Tales in the year 1928, I drew upon a paragraph in the ancient histories of Herodotus to create a story of how the Egyptian queen Nitocris invited all of her enemies to a lavish banquet in the subterranean hall on the shores of the Nile, and how, at the height of this banquet, she excused herself from the table and opened sluice gates admitting the waters of the Nile into the locked banquet hall, drowning her unloved guests like so many rats. I was 16 when I wrote this story, but already a confirmed writer, having entered upon this vocation at the age of 14. And if you're well acquainted with my writing since then, I don't have to tell you that it set the keynote for most of the work that has followed. My first 4 plays, 2 of them performed in St. Louis, were correspondingly violent, or more so. My first play, professionally produced and aimed at Broadway, was Battle of Angels, and it was about as violent as you can get on the stage. During the 19 years since then, I have only produced 5 plays that are not violent. The Glass Menagerie, You Touched Me, Summer and Smoke, The Rose Tattoo, and, recently in Florida, a serious comedy called Period of Adjustment, which is still being worked on. What surprises me is the degree to which both critics and audience have accepted this barrage of violence. I think I was surprised most of all by the acceptance and praise of Suddenly Last Summer. When it was done off-Broadway, I thought I would be critically tarred and feathered and ridden on a fence rail out of the New York theater, with no future haven except in translation for theaters abroad, who might mistakenly construe my work as a castigation of American morals, not understanding that I write about violence in American life only because I am not so well acquainted with the society of other countries. Last year, I thought it might help me as a writer to undertake psychoanalysis, and so I did. The analyst, being acquainted with my work and recognizing the psychic wounds expressed in it, asked me, soon after we started, "Why are you so full of hate, anger, and envy?" Hate was the word I contested. After much discussion and argument, we decided that hate was just a provisional term and that we would only use it till we had discovered the more precise term. But unfortunately, I got restless and started hopping back and forth between the analyst's couch and some Caribbean beaches. I think before we called it quits, I had persuaded the doctor that hate was not the right word, that there was some other thing, some other word for it, which we had not yet uncovered, and we left it like that. Anger. Oh, yes. And envy. Yes. But not hate. I think that hate is a thing, a feeling that can only exist where there is no understanding. Significantly good physicians never have it. They never hate their patients, no matter how hateful their patients may seem to be, with their relentless maniacal concentration on their own tortured egos. Since I am a member of the human race, when I attack its behavior toward fellow members, I am obviously including myself in the attack, unless I regard myself as not human but superior to humanity. I don't. In fact, I can't expose a human weakness on the stage unless I know it through having it myself. I have exposed a good many human weaknesses and brutalities, and consequently I have them. I don't even think that I am more conscious of mine than any of you are of yours. Guilt is universal. I mean a strong sense of guilt. If there exists any area in which a man can rise above his moral condition imposed upon him at birth and long before birth by the nature of his breed, then I think it is only a willingness to know it, to face its existence in him. And I think that at least below the conscious level, we all face it. Hence guilty feelings, and hence defiant aggressions, and hence the deep dark of despair that haunts our dreams, our creative work, and makes us distrust each other. Enough of these philosophical abstractions for now. To get back to writing for the theater, if there is any truth in the Aristotelian idea that violence is purged by its poetic representation on a stage, then it may be that my cycle of violent plays have had a moral justification after all. I know that I have felt it. I have always felt a release from the sense of meaninglessness and death when a work of tragic intention has seemed to me to have achieved that intention, even if only approximately, nearly. I would say that there is something much bigger in life and death than we have become aware of, or adequately recorded in our living and dying. And further, to compound this shameless romanticism, I would say that our serious theater is a search for that something that is not yet successful, but is still going on. Synopsis of scenes. Act 1. Scene 1. A bedroom in the Royal Palms Hotel somewhere on the Gulf Coast. Scene 2. The same. Later. Act 2. Scene 1. The terrace of Boss Finley's house in St. Cloud. Scene 2. The cocktail lounge and palm garden of the Royal Palms Hotel. Act 3. The bedroom again. Time. Modern. An Easter Sunday from late morning till late night. Setting and special effects. The stage is backed by a cyclorama that should give a poetic unity of mood to the several specific settings. There are non-realistic projections on this site, the most important and constant being a grove of royal palm trees. There is nearly always a wind among these very tall palm trees, sometimes loud, sometimes just a whisper, and sometimes it blends into a thematic music, which will be identified when it occurs as the lament. During the daytime scenes, the cyclorama projection is a poetic abstraction of semi-tropical sea and sky and fair spring weather. At night, it is the palm garden with its branches among the stars. The specific settings should be treated as freely and sparingly as the sets for Cat on a Hot Tin Roof or Summer and Smoke. They'll be described as you come to them in the script. Act 1. Scene 1. A bedroom of an old-fashioned, but still fashionable, hotel somewhere along the Gulf Coast, in a town called St. Cloud. I think of it as resembling one of those grand hotels around Sorrento or Monte Carlo, set in a palm garden. The style is vaguely Moorish. The principal set piece is a great double bed which should be raked toward the audience. In a sort of Moorish corner backed by shuttered windows is a wicker taboret and two wicker stools over which is suspended a Moorish lamp on a brass chain. The windows are floor length and they open out upon a gallery. There is also a practical door frame opening onto a corridor. The walls are only suggested. On the great bed are two figures, a sleeping woman and a young man awake, sitting up, in the trousers of white silk pajamas. The sleeping woman's face is partly covered by an eyeless black satin domino to protect her from morning glare. She breathes and tosses on the bed as if in the grip of a nightmare. The young man is lighting his first cigarette of the day. Outside the windows there is heard the soft, urgent cries of birds, the sound of their wings. Then a colored waiter fly appears at door on the corridor bearing coffee service for two. He knocks. Chance rises, pauses a moment at a mirror in the fourth wall to run a comb through his slightly thinning blonde hair before he crosses to open the door. Chance. Ah, good. Put it in there. Fly. Yes, sir. Chance. Give me the bromo first. You better mix it for me. Fly. Hands kind of shaky this morning? Chance. Shuddering after the bromo. Open the shutters a little. Hey, I said a little, not much. Not that much. As the shutters are opened, we see him clearly for the first time. He's in his late 20s, and his face looks slightly older than that. You might describe it as a ravaged young face, and yet it is still exceptionally good-looking. His body shows no decline, yet it's the kind of a body that white silk pajamas are or ought to be made for. A church bell tolls, and from another church, nearer, a choir starts singing the Alleluia chorus. It draws him to the window, and as he crosses, he says, I didn't know it was Sunday. Fly. Yes, sir, it's Easter Sunday. Chance. Leans out a moment, hands gripping the shutters. Uh-huh. Fly. That's the Episcopal church they're singing in. The bell's from the Catholic church. Chance. I'll put your tip on the check. Fly. Thank you, Mr. Wayne. Chance. As Fly starts for the door. Hey, how did you know my name? Fly. I waited tables in the grand ballroom when you used to come to the dances on Saturday nights, with that real pretty girl you used to dance so good with. Mr. Boss Finley's daughter? Chance. I'm increasing your tip to $5 in return for a favor, which is not to remember that you have recognized me, or anything else at all. Your name is Fly. Shoe Fly. Close the door with no noise. Voice outside. Just a minute. Chance. Who's that? Voice outside. George Scudder. Slight pause. Fly exits. Chance. How did you know I was here? George Scudder enters. A coolly nice-looking business-like young man who might be the head of the Junior Chamber of Commerce, but is actually a young doctor, about 36 or 7. Scudder. The assistant manager that you checked in here last night phoned me this morning that you'd come back to St. Cloud. Chance. So you came right over to welcome me home? Scudder. Your lady friend sounds like she's coming out of ether. Chance. The princess had a rough night. Scudder. You've latched on to a princess? Mockingly. Gee. Chance. She's traveling incognito. Scudder. Golly, I should think she would. If she's checking in hotels with you. Chance. George, you're the only man I know that still says gee, golly, and gosh. Scudder. Well, I'm not the sophisticated type, Chance. Chance. That's for sure. Want some coffee? Scudder. Nope. Just came for a talk. A quick one. Chance. Okay. Start talking, man. Scudder. Why you've come back to St. Cloud? Chance. I've still got a mother and a girl in St. Cloud. How's Heavenly, George? Scudder. We'll get around to that later. He glances at his watch. I've got to be in surgery at the hospital in 25 minutes. Chance. You operate now, do you? Scudder, opening doctor's bag. I'm chief of staff there now. Chance. Man, you've got it made. Chance. Scudder. Why have you come back? Chance. I heard that my mother was sick. Scudder. But you said, how's Heavenly, not how's my mother, Chance. Chance sips coffee. Your mother died a couple of weeks ago. Chance slowly turns his back on the man and crosses to the window. Shadows of birds sweep the blind. He lowers it a little before he turns back to Scudder. Chance. Why wasn't I notified? Scudder. You were. A wire was sent you 3 days before she died at the last address she had for you, which was General Delivery, Los Angeles. We got no answer from that, and another wire was sent to you after she died, the same day of her death, and we got no response from that either. Here's the church record. The church took up a collection for her hospital and funeral expenses. She was buried nicely in your family plot, and the church has also given her a very nice headstone. I'm giving you these details in spite of the fact that I know, and everyone here in town knows, that you had no interest in her. Less than people who knew her only slightly, such as myself. Chance. How did she go? Scudder. She had a long illness, Chance. You know about that. Chance. Yes, she was sick when I left here the last time. Scudder. She was sick at heart as well as sick in her body at that time, Chance. But people were very good to her, especially people who knew her in church. And the Reverend Walker was with her at the end. Chance sits down on the bed. He puts out his unfinished cigarette and immediately lights another. His voice becomes thin and strained. Chance. She never had any luck. Scudder. Luck? Well, that's all over with now. If you want to know anything more about that, you can get in touch with Reverend Walker about it. Although I'm afraid he won't be likely to show much cordiality to you. Chance. She's gone. Why talk about it? Scudder. I hope you haven't forgotten the letter I wrote you soon after you last left town. Chance. No, I got no letter. Scudder. I wrote you in care of an address your mother gave me about a very important private matter. Chance. I've been moving a lot. Scudder. I didn't even mention names in the letter. Chance. What was the letter about? Scudder. Sit over here so I don't have to talk loud about this. Come over here. I can't talk loud about this. Scudder indicates the chair by the tabouret. Chance crosses and rests a foot on the chair. In this letter, I just told you that a certain girl we know had to go through an awful experience, a tragic ordeal, because of past contact with you. I told you that I was only giving you this information so that you would know better than to come back to St. Cloud, but you didn't know better. Chance. I told you I got no letter. Don't tell me about a letter. I didn't get any letter. Scudder. I'm telling you what I told you in this letter. Chance. All right, tell me what you told me. Don't talk to me like a club, a chamber of something. What did you tell me? What ordeal? What girl? Heavenly? Heavenly, George? Scudder. I see it's not going to be possible to talk about this quietly, and so it... Chance. Rising to block Scudder's way. Heavenly? What ordeal? Scudder. We will not mention names. Chance, I rushed over here this morning as soon as I heard you were back in St. Cloud, before the girl's father and brother could hear that you were back in St. Cloud, to stop you from trying to get in touch with the girl and to get out of here. That is absolutely all I have to say in this room at this moment, but I hope I have said it in a way to impress you with the vital urgency of it so you will leave. Chance. Jesus. If something's happened to Heavenly, will you please tell me what? Scudder. I said no names. We are not alone in this room. Now when I go downstairs I'll speak to Dan Hatcher, assistant manager here. He told me you'd checked in here. And tell him you want to check out, so you'd better get Sleeping Beauty and yourself ready to travel. And I suggest that you keep on traveling till you cross the state line. Chance. You're not going to leave this room till you've explained to me what you've been hinting at about my girl in St. Cloud. Scudder. There's a lot more to this which we feel ought not to be talked about to anyone, least of all to you, since you have turned into a criminal degenerate. The only right term for you, but Chance, I think I ought to remind you that once long ago the father of this girl wrote out a prescription for you, a sort of medical prescription, which is castration. You better think about that. That would deprive you of all you've got to get by on. He moves toward the steps. Chance. I'm used to that threat. I'm not going to leave St. Cloud without my girl. Scudder, on the steps. You don't have a girl in St. Cloud. Heavenly and I are going to be married next month. He leaves abruptly. Chance, shaken by what he has heard, turns and picks up the phone and kneels on the floor. Chance. Hello? St. Cloud 525. Hello? Aunt Nani? This is Chance. Yes, Chance. I'm staying at the Royal Palms and What's the matter? Has something happened to Heavenly? Why can't you talk now? George Scudder was here and... Aunt Nani? Aunt Nani? The other end hangs up. The sleeping woman suddenly cries out in her sleep. Chance drops the phone on its cradle and runs to the bed. Chance, bending over her as she struggles out of a nightmare. Princess! Princess! Hey, Princess Koss! He removes her eye mask. She sits up gasping and staring wild-eyed about her. Princess. Who are you? Help. Chance on the bed. Hush now. Princess. Oh. I had a terrible dream. Chance. It's all right. Chance is with you. Princess. Who? Chance. Me. Princess. I don't know who you are. Chance. You'll remember soon, Princess. Princess. I don't know. Chance. It'll come back to you soon. What are you reaching for, honey? Princess. Oxygen. Mask. Chance. Why? Do you feel short-winded? Princess. Yes, I have air shortage. Chance, looking for the correct piece of luggage. Which bag is your oxygen in? I can't remember which bag we packed it in. Oh yeah, the crocodile case, the one with the combination lock. Wasn't the first number 0? He comes back to the bed and reaches for the bag under its far side. Princess, as if with her dying breath. 0, 0, 2 zeros to the right, and then back around to Chance. 0, 3 zeros, 2 of them to the right, and then the last one to the left. Princess. Hurry, I can't breathe. I'm dying. Chance. I'm getting it, Princess. Princess. Hurry. Chance. Here we are. I've got it. He has extracted from case a small oxygen cylinder and mask. He fits the inhaler over her nose and mouth. She falls back on the pillow. He places the other pillow under her head. After a moment, her panicky breath subsiding, she growls at him. Princess. Why in the hell did you lock it up in that case? Chance, standing at the head of the bed. You said to put all your valuables in that case. Princess. I meant my jewelry, and you know it, you bastard. Chance. Princess, I didn't think you'd have these attacks anymore. I thought that having me with you to protect you would stop these attacks of panic. Princess. Give me a pill. Chance. Which pill? Princess. A pink one. A pinky. And vodka. He puts the tank on the floor and goes over to the trunk. The phone rings. Chance gives the princess a pill, picks up the vodka bottle, and goes to the phone. He sits down with the bottle between his knees. Chance, pouring a drink, phone held between shoulder and ear. Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Hatcher. Oh? But Mr. Hatcher, when we checked in here last night, we weren't told that. And Miss Alexandra Delago, Princess shouting, Don't use my name! Chance, is suffering from exhaustion. She's not at all well, Mr. Hatcher, and certainly not in any condition to travel. I'm sure you don't want to take the responsibility for what might happen to Miss Delago. Princess, shouting again, Don't use my name! Chance, if she attempted to leave here today in the condition she's in, do you? Princess, hang up! He does. He comes over with his drink and the bottle to the princess. I want to forget everything. I want to forget who I am. Chance, handing her the drink. He said that, princess drinking. Please shut up and forget. Chance, taking the glass from her. Okay, go on, forget. There's nothing better than that. I wish I could do it. Princess, I can. I will. I am forgetting. I'm forgetting. She lies down. Chance moves to the foot of the bed where he seems to be struck with an idea. He puts the bottle down on the floor, runs to the chaise, and picks up a tape recorder. Taking it back to the bed, he places the recorder on the floor. As he plugs it in, he coughs. What's going on? Chance, looking for my toothbrush. Princess, throwing the oxygen mask on the bed. Will you please take that away? Chance, sure you've had enough of it? Princess, laughs breathlessly. Yes, for God's sake, take it away. I must look hideous in it. Chance, taking the mask. No, you just look exotic, like a princess from Mars or a big magnified insect. Princess, thank you. Check the cylinder, please. Chance, for what? Princess, check the air left in it. There's a gauge on the cylinder that gives the pressure. Chance, you're still breathing like a quarter horse that's been run a full mile. Are you sure you don't want a doctor? Princess, no. For God's sake, no. Chance, why are you so scared of doctors? Princess, hoarsely, quickly. I don't need them. What happened is nothing at all. It happens frequently to me. Something disturbs me. Adrenaline's pumped in my blood and I get short-winded. That's all. That's all there is to it. I woke up. I didn't know where I was or who I was with. I got panicky. Adrenaline was released and I got short-winded. Chance. Are you okay now, Princess? Huh? He kneels on the bed and helps straighten up the pillows. Princess. Not quite yet, but I will be. I will be. Chance. You're full of complexes, plump lady. Princess. What did you call me? Chance. Plump lady. Princess. Why do you call me that? Have I let go of my figure? Chance. You put on a good deal of weight after that disappointment you had last month. Princess. Hitting him with a small pillow. What disappointment? I don't remember any. Chance. Can you control your memory like that? Princess. Yes, I've had to learn to. What is this place? A hospital? And you? What are you, a male nurse? Chance. I take care of you, but I'm not your nurse. Princess. But you're employed by me, aren't you? For some purpose or other? Chance. I'm not on salary with you. Princess. What are you on? Just expenses? Chance. Yep. You're footing the bills. Princess. I see. Yes, I see. Chance. Why are you rubbing your eyes? Princess. My vision's so cloudy. Don't I wear glasses? Don't I have any glasses? Chance. You had a little accident with your glasses. Princess. What was that? Chance. You fell on your face with them on. Princess. Were they completely demolished? Chance. One lens cracked. Princess. Well, please give me the remnants. I don't mind waking up in an intimate situation with someone, but I like to see who it's with, so I can make whatever adjustment seems called for. Chance rises and goes to the trunk where he lights cigarette. You know what I look like. Princess. No, I don't. Chance. You did. Princess. I tell you, I don't remember. It's all gone away. Chance. I don't believe in amnesia. Princess. Neither do I, but you have to believe a thing that happens to you. Chance. Where did I put your glasses? Princess. Don't ask me. You say I fell on them. If I was in that condition, I wouldn't be likely to know where anything is I had with me. What happened last night? He has picked them up but not given them to her. Chance. You knocked yourself out. Princess. Did we sleep here together? Chance. Yes, but I didn't molest you. Princess. Should I thank you for that or accuse you of cheating? She laughs sadly. Chance. I like you. You're a nice monster. Princess. Your voice sounds young. Are you young? Chance. My age is 29 years. Princess. That's young for anyone but an Arab. Are you very good looking? Chance. I used to be the best looking boy in this town. Princess. How large is this town? Is the town? Chance. Fair sized. Princess. Well, I like a good mystery novel. I read them to put me to sleep, and if they don't put me to sleep, they're good. But this one's a little too good for comfort. I wish you would find me my glasses. He reaches over headboard to hand the glasses to her. She puts them on and looks him over. Then she motions him to come nearer and touches his bare chest with her fingertips. Well, I may have done better, but God knows I've done worse. Chance. What are you doing now, Princess? Princess. The tactile approach. Chance. You do that like you were feeling a piece to see if it was genuine silk or phony. Princess. It feels like silk. Genuine. This much I do remember, that I like bodies to be hairless, silky smooth gold. Chance. Do I meet these requirements? Princess. You seem to meet those requirements, but I still have a feeling that something is not satisfied in the relation between us. Chance, moving away from her. You've had your experiences, I've had mine. You can't expect everything to be settled at once. Two different experiences of two different people. Naturally, there's some things that have to be settled between them before there's any absolute agreement. Princess, throwing the glasses on the bed. Take that splintered lens out before it gets in my eye. Chance, obeying this instruction by knocking the glasses sharply on the bed table. You like to give orders, don't you? Princess, it's something I seem to be used to. Chance, how would you like to take them to be a slave? Princess, what time is it? Chance, my watch is in Hawk somewhere. Why don't you look at yours? Princess, where's mine? He reaches lazily over to the table and hands it to her. Chance, it stopped at 7:05. Princess, surely it's later than that. Or earlier. That's no hour when I'm... Chance, platinum, is it? Princess. No, it's only white gold. I never travel with anything very expensive. Chance. Why? Do you get robbed much? Huh? Do you get rolled often? Princess. Get what? Chance. Rolled. Isn't that expression in your vocabulary? Princess. Give me the phone. Chance. For what? Princess. I said give me the phone. Chance. I know. And I said for what? Princess. I want to inquire where I am and who is with me. Chance. Take it easy. Princess. Will you give me the phone? Chance. Relax, you're getting short-winded again. He takes hold of her shoulders. Princess. Please let go of me. Chance. Don't you feel secure with me? Lean back. Lean back against me. Princess. Lean back. Chance. This way. This way. There. He pulls her into his arms. She rests in them, panting a little like a trapped rabbit. Princess. It gives you an awful trapped feeling, this memory block. I feel as if someone I loved had died lately, and I don't want to remember who it could be. Chance. Do you remember your name? Princess. Yes, I do. Chance. What's your name? Princess. I think there's some reason why I prefer not to tell you. Chance. Well, I happen to know it. You registered under a phony name in Palm Beach, but I discovered your real one, and you admitted it to me. Princess. I'm the Princess Cosmonopoulos. Chance. Yes, and you used to be known as... Princess sits up sharply. No, stop. Will you let me do it? Quietly, in my own way? The last place I remember... Chance. What's the last place you remember? Princess. A town with the crazy name of Tallahassee. Chance. Yeah, we drove through there. That's where I reminded you that today would be Sunday and we ought to lay in a supply of liquor to get us through it without us because that's where I reminded you that today would be Sunday, and we ought to lay in a supply of liquor to get us through it without us being dehydrated too severely. And so we stopped there, but it was a college town, and we had some trouble locating a package store open. Princess. But we did we? Chance, getting up for the bottle and pouring her a drink. Well, sure. We bought 3 bottles of vodka. You curled up in the back seat with one of those bottles, and when I looked back, you were blotto. I intended to stay on the old Spanish trail straight through to Texas, where you had some oil wells to look at. I didn't stop here. I was stopped. Princess. What by? A cop or... Chance. No cop, but I was arrested by something. Princess. My car. Where's my car? Chance. Handling her the drink. In the hotel parking lot, Princess. Princess. Oh, then this is a hotel? Chance. It's the elegant old Royal Palms Hotel in the town of St. Cloud. Gulls fly past window, shadows of sweeping the blind. They cry out with soft urgency. Princess. Those pigeons out there sound hoarse. They sound like gulls to me. Of course, they could be pigeons with laryngitis. Chance glances at her with his flickering smile and laughs softly. Will you help me, please? I'm about to get up. Chance. What do you want? I'll get it. Princess. I want to go to the window. Chance. What for? Princess. To look out of it. Chance. I can describe the view to you. Princess. I'm not sure I'd trust your description. Well? Chance. Oh, okay, whoopsie daisy. Princess. My God, I said help me up, not toss me onto the carpet. Sways dizzily a moment, clutching bed. Then draws a breath and crosses to the window. Pauses as she gazes out, squinting into noon's brilliance. Chance. Well, what do you see? Give me your description of the view, princess. Princess faces the audience. I see a palm garden. Chance. And a 4-lane highway just past it. Princess, squinting and shielding her eyes. Yes, I see that, and a strip of beach with some bathers, and then an infinite stretch of nothing but water, and... She cries out softly and turns away from the window. Chance. What? Princess. Oh God. I remember the thing I wanted not to. The goddamn end of my life. She draws a deep, shuddering breath. Chance running to her aid. What's the matter? Princess. Help me back to bed. Oh God, no wonder I didn't want to remember. I was no fool. He assists her to the bed. There is an unmistakable sympathy in his manner, however shallow. Chance. Oxygen? Princess draws another deep, shuddering breath. No. Where's the stuff? Did you leave it in the car? Chance. Oh, the stuff? Under the mattress. Moving to the other side of the bed, he pulls out a small pouch. Princess. A stupid place to put it. Chance. Sits at the foot of the bed. What's wrong with under the mattress? Princess. Sits up on the edge of the bed. There's such a thing as chambermaids in the world. They make up the beds. They come across the lumps in a mattress. Chance. This isn't pot. What is it? Princess. Wouldn't that be pretty? A year in jail in one of those model prisons for distinguished addicts. What is it? Don't you know what it is, you beautiful, stupid young man? It's hashish. Moroccan. The finest. Chance. Oh, hash. How'd you get it through customs when you came back for your comeback? Princess. I didn't get it through customs. The ship's doctor gave me injections while this stuff was winging over the ocean to a shifty young gentleman who thought he could blackmail me for it. She puts on her slippers with a vigorous gesture. Chance. Couldn't he? Princess. Of course not. I called his bluff. Chance. You took injections coming over? Princess. With my neuritis? I had to. Come on, give it to me. Chance. Don't you want it packed right? Princess. You talk too much. You ask too many questions. I need something quick. She rises. Chance. I'm a new hand at this. Princess. I'm sure, or you wouldn't discuss it in a hotel room. She turns to the audience and intermittently changes the focus of her attention. For years, they all told me that it was ridiculous of me to feel that I couldn't go back to the screen or the stage as a middle-aged woman. They told me I was an artist, not just a star whose career depended on youth. But I knew in my heart that the legend of Alexandra Del Lago couldn't be separated from an appearance of youth. There's no more valuable knowledge than knowing the right time to go. I knew it. I went at the right time to go. Retired. Where to? To what? To that dead planet, the moon? There's nowhere else to retire to when you retire from an art because, believe it or not, I really was once an artist. So I retired to the moon. But the atmosphere of the moon doesn't have any oxygen in it. I began to feel breathless. In that withering country of time coming after time not meant to come after. And so I discovered Haven't you fixed it yet? Chance rises and goes to her with a cigarette he has been preparing. Discovered this and other practices like it to put to sleep the tiger that raged in my nerves. Why the unsatisfied tiger? In the nerves jungle? Why is anything, anywhere, unsatisfied and raging? Ask somebody's good doctor, but don't believe his answer because it isn't the answer. If I had just been old, but you see, I wasn't old. I just wasn't young. Not young. I just wasn't young anymore. Chance. Nobody's young anymore. Princess. But you see, I couldn't get old with that tiger still in me raging. Chance. Nobody can get old. Princess. Stars in retirement sometimes give acting lessons. Or take up painting. Paint flowers on pots or landscapes. I could have painted the landscape of the endless withering country in which I wandered like a lost nomad. If I could paint deserts and nomads, if I could paint... Chance. Shh. Princess. Sorry. Chance. Smoke. Princess. Yes, smoke. And then the young lovers. Chance. Me? Princess. You? Yes, finally you. But you come after the comeback. The glorious comeback when I turned full and came back. The screen's a very clear mirror. There's a thing called a close-up. The camera advances and you stand still and your head, your face, is caught in the frame of the picture with a light blazing on it. And all your terrible history screams while you smile. Chance. How do you know? Maybe it wasn't a failure. Maybe you were just scared. Just chicken, princess. Princess. Not a failure. After that close-up, they gasped. People gasped. I heard them whisper. Their shocked whispers. Is that her? Is that her? Her? I made the mistake of wearing a very elaborate gown to the premiere. A gown with a train that had to be gathered up as I rose from my seat and began the interminable retreat from the city of flames. Up, up the unbearably long theater aisle, gasping for breath, and still clutching up the regal white train of my gown, all the way up the forever length of the aisle. And behind me some small unknown man grabbing at me, saying, "Stay, stay." At last, the top of the aisle, I turned and struck him, then let the train fall, forgot it, and tried to run down the marble stairs. Tripped, of course, fell, and rolled like a sailor's drunk whore to the bottom. Hands, merciful hands without faces, assisted to get me to get up. After that, flight. Just flight. Not interrupted until I woke up this morning. Oh God, it's gone out. Chance, let me fix you another, huh? Shall I fix you another? Princess, let me finish yours. You can't retire with the outcrying heart of an artist still crying out in your body, in your nerves, in your, what, heart? Oh, no, that's gone. That's Chance. He goes to her, takes the cigarette out of her hand and gives her a fresh one. Here, I fixed you another one. Princess, I fixed you another... He sits on the floor leaning against the foot of the bed. Princess, well, sooner or later, at some point in your life, the thing that you lived for is lost or abandoned. And then you die or find something else. This is my something else. She approaches the bed. And ordinarily, I take the most fantastic precautions against detection. She sits on the bed, then lies down on her back, her head over the foot near his. I cannot imagine what possessed me to let you know, knowing so little about you as I seem to know. Chance. I must have inspired a good deal of confidence in you, Princess. If that's the case, I've gone crazy. Now tell me something. What is that body of water? That sea out past the Palm Garden and 4-lane highway? I ask you because I remember now that we turned west from the sea when we went onto that highway called the Old Spanish Trail. Chance. We've come back to the sea. Princess. What sea? Chance. The Gulf. Princess. The Gulf? Chance. The gulf of misunderstanding between me and you. Princess. We don't understand each other? And to lie here smoking this stuff? Chance. Princess, don't forget that this stuff is yours, that you provided me with it. Princess. What are you trying to prove? Church bells toll. Sundays go on a long time. Chance. You don't deny it was yours. Princess. What's mine? Chance. You brought it into the country, you smuggled it through customs into the USA, and you had a fair supply of it at that hotel in Palm Beach, and were asked to check out before you were ready to do so, because its aroma drifted into the corridor one breezy night. Princess. What are you trying to prove? Chance. You don't deny that you introduced me to it? Princess. Boy, I doubt very much that I have any vice that I'd need to introduce to you. Chance. Don't call me boy. Princess. Why not? Chance. It sounds condescending. And all my vices were caught from other people. Princess. What are you trying to prove? My memories come back now, excessively clearly. It was this mutual practice that brought us together. When you came in my cabana to give me one of those papaya cream rubs, you sniffed, you grinned, and said you'd like a stick too. Chance. That's right. I knew the smell of it. Princess. What are you trying to prove? Chance. You asked me 4 or 5 times what I'm trying to prove. The answer is nothing. I'm just making sure that your memory is cleared up now. You do remember me coming in your cabana to give you those papaya cream rubs. Princess. Of course I do, Carl. Chance. My name is not Carl. It's Chance. Princess. You called yourself Carl. Chance. I always carry an extra name in my pocket. Princess. You're not a criminal, are you? Chance. No, ma'am, not me. You're the one that's committed a federal offense. She stares at him a moment, then goes to the door leading to the hall, looks out, and listens. What did you do that for? Princess, closing the door. To see if someone was planted outside the door. Chance. You still don't trust me? Princess. Someone that gives a false name? Chance. You registered under a phony one in Palm Beach. Princess. Yes, to avoid getting any reports or condolences on the disaster I ran from. She crosses to the window. There is a pause followed by the lament. And so we've not arrived at any agreement? Chance. No, ma'am. Not a complete one. She turns her back to the window and gazes at him from there. Princess. What's the gimmick? The hitch? Chance. The usual one? Princess. What's that? Chance. Doesn't somebody always hold out for something? Princess. Are you holding out for something? Chance. Uh-huh. Princess. What? Chance. You said that you had a large block of stock, more than half ownership in a sort of a second-rate Hollywood studio, and could put me under contract. I doubted your word about that. You're not like any phony I've met before, but phonies come in all types and sizes. So I held out, even after we locked your cabana door for the papaya cream rubs. You wired for some contract papers we signed. It was notarized and witnessed by three strangers found in a bar. Princess. Then why did you hold out still? Chance. I didn't have much faith in it. You know, you can buy those things for 6 bits in novelty stores. I've been conned and tricked too often to put much faith in anything that could still be phony. Princess. You're wise. However, I have the impression that there's been a certain amount of intimacy between us. Chance. A certain amount. No more. I wanted to hold your interest. Princess. Well, you miscalculated. My interest always increases with satisfaction. Chance. Then you're unusual in that respect, too. Princess. In all respects, I'm not common. Chance. But I guess the contract we signed is full of loopholes? Princess. Truthfully? Yes, it is. I can get out of it if I wanted to, and so can the studio. Do you have any talent? Chance. For what? Princess. Acting, baby, acting! Chance. I'm not as positive of it as I once was. I've had more chances than I could count on my fingers and made the grade almost, but not quite every time. Something always blocks me. Princess. What? What? Do you know? He rises. The lamentation is heard very faintly. Fear? Chance. No, not fear, but terror. Otherwise, would I be your goddamn caretaker hauling you across the country? Picking you up when you fall? Well, would I? Except for that block by anything less than a star? Princess. Carl. Chance. Chance. Chance Wayne. You're stoned. Princess. Chance, come back to your youth. Put off this false, ugly hardness, and Chance, and be took in by every con merchant I meet? Princess. I'm not a phony, believe me. Chance. Well then, what is it you want? Come on, say it, Princess. Princess. Chance, come here. He smiles but doesn't move. Come here and let's comfort each other a little. He crouches by the bed. She encircles him with her bare arms. Chance. Princess. Do you know something? All this conversation has been recorded on tape? Princess. What are you talking about? Chance. Listen, I'll play it back to you. He uncovers the tape recorder, approaches her with the earpiece. Princess. How did you get that thing? Chance. You bought it for me in Palm Beach. I said that I wanted it to improve my diction. He presses the play button on the recorder. The following in the left column can either be on a public address system or can be cut. Playback. Princess. What is it? Don't you know what it is, you stupid, beautiful young man? It's hashish. Moroccan, the finest. Chance. Oh, hash? How'd you get it through customs when you came back for your comeback? Princess. I didn't get it through customs. The ship stopped her. What a smart Princess. What a smart cookie you are. Chance. How does it feel to be over a great big barrel? He snaps off the recorder and picks up the reels. Princess. This is blackmail, is it? Where's my mink stole? Chance. Not stolen. He tosses it to her contemptuously from a chair. Princess. Where's my jewel case? Chance. Picks it up off the floor and throws it on the bed. Here. Princess opens it up and starts to put on some jewelry. Every piece is insured and described in detail. Lloyd's in London. Chance. Who's a smart cookie, Princess? You want your purse now so you can count your money? Princess. I don't carry currency with me, just traveler's checks. Chance. I noted that fact already, but I got a fountain pen you can sign them with. Princess. Ho ho! Chance. Ho ho! What an insincere laugh. If that's how you can fake a laugh. No wonder you didn't make good in your comeback picture. Princess. Are you serious about this attempt to blackmail me? Chance. You'd better believe it. Your trade's turned to dirt on you, Princess. You understand that language? Princess. The language of the gutter is understood anywhere that anyone ever fell in it. Ah, then you do understand. Princess. And if I shouldn't comply with this order of yours? Chance. You still got a name. You're still a personage, Princess. You wouldn't want confidential or whisper or hush-hush or the narcotics department of the FBI to get a hold of one of these tape records, would you? And I'm going to make lots of copies. Huh, Princess. Princess. You are trembling and sweating. You see, this part doesn't suit you. You just don't play it well, Chance. Chance puts the reels in a suitcase. I hate to think of what kind of desperation has made you try to intimidate me, Alexandra Delago, with that ridiculous threat. Why, it's so silly. It's touching. Downright endearing. It makes me feel close to you, Chance. You were well born, weren't you? Born of good southern stock in a genteel tradition, with just one disadvantage, a laurel wreath on your forehead, given too early without enough effort to earn it. Where's your scrapbook, Chance? He crosses to the bed, takes the traveler's checkbook out of her purse and extends it to her. Where's your book full of little theater notices and stills that show you in the background of... Chance. Here, start signing or... Princess, pointing to the bathroom. Or what? Go take a shower under cold water. I don't like hot, sweaty bodies in a tropical climate. Oh, you. I do want and will accept still, under certain conditions, which I will make very clear to you. Chance. Here. Throws the checkbook toward the bed. Princess. Put this away. And your leaky fountain pen. When monster meets monster, one monster has to give away, and it will never be me. I'm an older hand at it, with much more natural aptitude at it than you have. Now then, you put the cart a little in front of the horse. Signed checks are payment. Delivery comes first. Certainly I can afford it. I could deduct you as my caretaker, Chance. Remember that I was a star before big taxes, and had a husband who was a great merchant prince. He taught me to deal with money. Now, Chance, please pay close attention while I tell you the very special conditions under which I will keep you in my employment after this miscalculation. Forget the legend that I was, and the ruin of that legend. Whether or not I do have a disease of the heart that places an early terminal date on my life, no mention of that, no reference to it ever. No mention of death, never. Never a word on that odious subject. I've been accused of having a death wish, but I think it's life that I wish for. Terribly. Shamelessly on any terms whatsoever. When I say now, the answer must not be later. I have only one way to forget these things I don't want to remember, and that's through the act of love-making. That's the only dependable distraction, so when I say now, because I need that distraction, it has to be now, not later. She crosses to the bed. He rises from the opposite side of the bed and goes to the window. She gazes at his back as he looks out the window. Pause. Lamentation. Princess. Finally. Softly. Chance. I need that distraction. It's time for me to find out if you're able to give it to me. You mustn't hang on to your silly little idea that you can increase your value by turning away and looking out a window when somebody wants you. I want you. I say now, and I mean now. Then, and not until then, will I call downstairs and tell the hotel cashier that I'm sending a young man down with some traveler's checks to cash for me. Chance, turning slowly from the window. Aren't you ashamed, a little? Princess. Of course I am. Aren't you? Chance. More than a little. Princess. Close the shutters. Draw the curtain across them. He obeys these commands. Now get a little sweet music on the radio and come here to me, and to make me almost believe that we're a pair of young lovers without any shame.